Hey everyone, I'm Adan Sharan.
And I'm Winston Shaw.
And we're here today with a special episode of Crossfire. We're here at the Miracle Mile Theater in Coral Gables, and there's a live podcast recording of the War on Cars podcast. So,
I'm super excited.
Hi, thank you for meeting with me. What's your name?
Nicholas Duran.
Nice to meet you, Nick. So, I was wondering, because if you guys were part of organizing this event, what do you think the benefit of bringing this national and global perspective with these two pairs of authors? How do you think that can help Miami go into the future the more urbanist fashion?
So Trans Alliance Miami is extremely thrilled about the opportunity to bring our friends from the Netherlands and Brooklyn down here to Miami. Miami is not the place that we typically think of when we talk about transportation outside of a personal vehicle. But I think events like these and what we're seeing really in our neighborhoods and going out and talking to people, it aligns with the broader national trend is that people want communities that are well connected and that provide different means of transportation and ways of getting around and connecting with your neighbors, connecting with your community and local businesses. That movement is happening now, even here in Miami, where on Miracle Mile, one space that is relatively well connected, that you can get around different modes of transportation that intersect here. The trolley, you have the metro rail that's not too far. You can cycle in the area. This is really part and parcel what goes to making a better quality of life. And this is the vision and the dream that we want to bring for all of Miami's residents, regardless of their zip code, regardless of where they live. Even if you live out in West Miami-Dade, it doesn't mean that your community doesn't have to be well connected, that you can't get around and access your doctor's appointments, your jobs, your grocery stores, without having to get in your car and drive an extensive amount of time.
Michelle, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So, what do you think is interesting about this that inspires you to be involved in this sort of advocacy?
Oh, just one of the things that really drew me, is just the feeling of peace that comes to me when I'm walking or cycling or taking the metro rail, instead of the feelings of is this car going to crash into me? Is this car going to cut me off? Oh, it's a red light. I'm running late. And it really it connects back to what TAM's mission is, building a Miami for people, not cars. And I just wish that for everyone, to have that moment where a car is an option. Sure, we're not trying to take your cars away. I like driving, doing road trips. And at the same time, it's I wish I could have that more as an option, where it's I just have my car for something else and I'm commuting and getting around and all that stuff by train.
And do you think there's a particular significance to tonight's event where we're bringing these two movements together of urban advocacy and this kind of information about how women have played a role in putting cities together? Do you think it's really important?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm thinking of I'm really excited to hear all four authors' perspectives, and especially learn about how women have changed cities across the world. The Bruntlets, who wrote Women Changing Cities, have been touring internationally, and so I'm really excited to hear what they are what they're bringing today. And then to see how I feel a lot of the times women aren't in the higher leadership positions when it comes to government. And I'm so curious to hear in what they have to say about women who are and how they've been able to change their cities. And then with the war on cars, just thinking about what is a life without cars. And not just I'm thinking about maybe people hear me in Miami and they're oh my God, how are we going to get from West Kendall to the beach? But I'm no, what if we had built Miami around, not around cars? What would that look like? So I'm excited to see how those two come together.
Gaetana.
Nice to meet you, Gaetana. So, we were wondering what inspired you to come to this event?
My dad is very active with the Transit Alliance community here in Miami. I grew up here, but I don't live here anymore. And he invited us to this event because he's pretty passionate about pedestrian transit rights here.
And she lives in Denmark.
I live in Copenhagen now, so a community where I guess you do not drive cars a lot and you ride your bike, so it's definitely, I guess, a bit important for me as well.
What do you think is something like unique that you can get from this experience that is harder to get from other places?
I think it's cool because the authors are from Brooklyn, and I think it's going to be interesting to hear what they have to say about urban design and what it means to decenter cars in our everyday lives, which is something that is so huge and pertinent in the United States that other countries and other parts of the world are relying less on.
What's your name?
Edgar.
Edgar, nice to meet you. So, what inspired you to come here today?
I'm a planning graduate student, so I come to a lot of the planning events.
That's cool. So what do you think that's going to be the most interesting thing that we're going to talk about today?
Probably how cars affect city and pedestrian walkability.
Hi, I'm Vidant, and I want to thank you guys for coming down here. And so I'm here with Miami Community News, and yeah, we recently talked to Sarah a couple of days ago on her show, and I think that's something that's really important is kind of get like young people involved. Like Winston and I, like we're high school seniors, and I think that like youth are probably going to like they're always going to be like the future, right? So when all these like urbanism things and you want to create change for the future, then you have to get the youth involved. And I feel like that's something that like can be kind of hard in urbanism and fields in general. So how do you guys think we can get more youth involvement in urbanism?
If we're not talking to you, we can't help you because we're making those assumptions. We might have empathy for the problem, but aside from listening to my teenagers gripe about how they can't do certain things, I don't understand the experience. So that's the very first thing that all of us need to do and recognize and be able to check our own egos and our own assumptions that we know and actually go to the people that we're trying to serve. That's all.
Do you have thoughts?
I mean, one other thing I would say, and this is drawing from the other question, is to give them a reason to be hopeful, give them some optimism, because I think in speaking to our teenagers, there's a lot of belief that things are hopeless right now and anything they do won't matter. So I think we need to give them a reason to believe, and by spotlighting where these places are changing for the better, to help them realize what's possible with effective advocacy, with getting involved in their community, and because right now, there's a lot of desperation, and teenagers don't need any more sadness in their lives.
One of the most exciting things for us has been that the average age of our audience has been like way, way, way younger than us. And we have had a lot of people in their late teens, early 20s, who are showing up at these shows. And there is, as I'm sure you're aware, a really robust social media movement around urbanism that's really helping to educate a lot of young people about these issues. And there's just a real appetite for it. So, I mean, that if, politicians and planners can figure out how to tap into that, and I think increasingly as younger politicians are coming up, they speak that language better and are able to do those things better and use the social media infrastructure to then create real life engagement. And so I think that's the thing that everybody should be looking at. There's lots of great youth activists out there, lots of great young people doing this work, and I see more all the time. A lot of it is organizing around transit, and that's why I think like having transit as your focus is so cool and important. So yeah, I would say like just to like keep building on what is already like I think a really strong movement compared to what it was 10 years ago, when it would be all gray heads, at one of these things. And now that's not true, and I think that's partly because of the climate crisis. Yeah, no, we love the old heads, man, but like, come on.
Just address me directly,
it's not gonna
Sarah.
get
You
the
can
job
look-
done. But like, it has changed. It's changed dramatically in the 20 years that I've been doing this as a journalist. It's changed dramatically.
Hi, what's your name?
I'm Tala Habash with Transit Alliance.
Tala, so how did you feel about how tonight went?
Oh my God, it was a total blast. I feel so lucky and inspired to have been in a room with such amazing voices in the urbanism community.
And do you think that this event is a big foreboding moment for the future of the city of Miami? And do you think that this is when we're going to start making a lot of progress?
Absolutely. There's already a really big movement towards transit in Miami because people feel very inspired by the work that's being done by local nonprofits and organizations that are really pushing for a better public transit policy all over the county. But there's also this feeling that Miami can be better, you know? We always talk about Miami as a world-class city. It's 305. Pitbull talks about her. We love this city with all our hearts, but truly, Miamians deserve more than what we have, and what we have is currently a very congested city. Yeah. We're stuck in traffic all the time. You have to plan 45 minutes per drive anywhere you go. You get on the bus is stuck in traffic. The Metro Rail goes some places, but not a lot of places. And so there's a lot of pain points, and we only point them out because we want to see the city thrive and reach the absolute potential that it has.